Okay. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah. Oh, this is go this way and that way. Oh, this first this one. Yeah. Okay. And where is the laser or anything? Is there a laser? I can show this one. The laser, the pointer. Okay. Okay. Good afternoon. Today I would like to share you design method of the biophilic architecture, an iconic project. I'm really go through many slides, and I try to be very quick. First, I'm talking about the definition of the biophilic architecture and biophilic design very quickly, and then I'm trying to tell you how the biophilic design in Iran works. And then after that, I share with you some of my projects, which is right now under construction or just in the design. So in terms of the definition, you know that biophilia is a study of human connection to nature. Biophilic architecture is based on the assertion that humans have an innate connection with nature, and also provide regenerative space capable of mitigating the destructive effect of the urban heat island effects, stormwater, air pollution, electricity demand, and biodiversity loss. The term biophilia, first used by psychologists, and it's the love for nature and the affiliation of human being to other living organism is like the biophilia that is like. Practice of biophilic design requires repeated and sustained engagement with nature. Biophilic design focus on human adaptation to natural world that over evolutionary time, it should be health, it should be keep health, fitness, and also well-being. Biophilic design encourage an emotional attachment to particular setting and places, and also reinforcing interconnected, integrated architecture solution, and its mutual reinforcing and connecting to the nature. Another new term, it's biophilic urbanism. The biophilic urbanism is a relatively new term which also can be explained as the principle which is natural feature to functional design in urban environment. Psychologically and cognitively restrictive the space, and also bringing nature to our doorsteps. So the biophilic urbanism is pretty the thing that we have to think about the how to bring our city, how making our city green, and how making our city bring the nature to our city and living within the natures. And eventually biophilic urban design. Biophilic urban design aims to create healthy, attractive, and interconnected urban environments, such as green corridors, green belts, networks, and urban living architecture, living vegetated walls and roofs, rivers and canals, and potential sites for new habitats. A number of principles have been proposed for having the biophilic and beneficial of biophilic design. The experience of nature in a built environment should be repeated, ongoing, and sustained. Repeated, ongoing, and sustained. I repeat it. And then the other one is attachment to particular ecological and cultural setting and place should result from design. Positive interaction between people and nature should be created. Biophilic condition and infrastructure say that the percentage of population within a few hundred feet of meters of park and green space is in the criteria which an infrastructure biophilic conditions, and it's the condition that a biophilic design should have. Percentage of city land area covered by trees or other vegetations. Numbers of green design features, green rooftops, green walls, rain gardens. Number of an extent of natural images, shapes, forms employed in architectural scene in the city. And the last one is extent of flora and fauna found within the city. So these are the items that that's the scale, and that's the we can find that if if a city is a biophilic or no. Biophilic behaviors, patterns, and practice, which lifestyle is really important in terms of the average portion of the day spent outside in a park, trips, the membership and participation of the to the natural clubs and to the clubs which support the natures. These are the criteria which say that our behavior are biophilic or no. So this is a very well-known principles and pattern of biophilic design. It's a table which say that pattern of biophilic design, we can say in nature in the space, nature analogous, and nature of the space. These are three items, three different category and three different items that each of which bring us to the biophilic design. So I prepared this diagram. In this diagram shows that if we want to have a biophilic design elements in different scale, in terms of the buildings, in the buildings, we have a green rooftops, gardens and green atria, rooftop gardens, green walls, and interior space in daylight. In terms of the block, city block, we have a green courtyards, clustered housing around green areas, and native species yard space. In terms of the streets, we should have a green street, urban trees, low impact development, vegetated walls and skinny streets, edible landscape, high degree of permeability. In terms of the neighborhood, we should have an urban forest, ecology park, community gardens, neighborhood parks, pocket parks, greenery, greening gray field and brown fields. And in terms of the community, we have an urban creek and urban ecological networks, green schools, city tree canopy, community forest, and greening utility corridors. And eventually, in the region, we should have a regional green space, greening major transportation corridors and rivers. These are all of the criteria that we have to have in different scales for the to have a biophilic design in all of the scales of design. Okay, biophilic design in Iran. Starting almost 10 years ago, this is the interest of many architects who want to have a biophilic and to have a nature in trees, to attach natures to the design. It's just Iranian cities' attention to nature has a long history. Although Iran is a semi-arid country and it has many gardens in the heart of the cities. The root of this architecture stemmed from the gardens of Babylon that was built in 500 BC. The Hanging Garden had an ascending service of tier garden containing a wide variety of trees, shrubs, and vines resembling a green mountain construction in mud brick. Connection with nature is really important in Iran. Most of the cities, especially my city, I live in Shiraz. Shiraz is a city with 2 million people. This is, although many of historical cities in Iran has a connection with the garden, and it's just made and urban gardens within the city. Unfortunately, during these years, it's just all of the garden vanish and destroying. And in terms of the garden, many buildings, pop up, and they're starting again. This is the city, aerial photo of the city. You can see at the no, that's okay. You can see at the top left, that's a stain of green. All of them are gardens. So this is the gardens, very, very big. It's almost 10% of the city is a garden. So look at that one. It's continuously, and right now, after years and years, you can see that almost most of them are vanished, all disappearing. This is the thing that we have all around the world. Unfortunately, the city development, the city is starting to actually develop the new built environment and everything disappearing and destructive the gardens all around the world. So starting the biophilic project, this is the new project that's probably one of the architects, one of the studios designed it. This is another one in Mashhad, one of the northern city in Iran. And our biophilic design, which is now, this is a project, this project is in Shiraz. It's very great location. It's within the chain of mountain at the left, and there is a garden at the right. So this project is located between garden and mountain, and the name is Garden Mountain, exactly the name of this project. So the site is just beside the arterial road, and there is a very main nodes and intersection just close to that one. The site of project is located here. This is garden, and the site is just look over to the mountains. This is the site. It's a 93 almost square, this 2,800 square meter. Three basements are actually our parking garage. The first and second is retail, and the top is office space. In terms of the plan, the road, we have a very, very wide roadway, and the walkway, a wide walkway here, and the top is green roof. There is two main vertical axes, and the tree boxes which is attached to the building. So these are the trees, which is at the top. We have an intensive green roof at the top, and also in terms of the facade design, we using the strips coming from the come from the ground, go to the facade and go to the roof. These strips actually goes like this, and a pattern of panels just attached to the building. The panels is like this, and the panels stemmed from the concept is got from the leaf. A leaf, I wanted to use an biophilic shape, so this is the leaf, and we just got the structure of the leaf, and the leaf structure come out from this way, and this could change it to the panels, and panels like that, and these panels just goes to the building, to the facade, attached to the facade of building, and it's portable and fixed panels we have in this way, and so we have a different experience of shadow and light in the interior design. So also we have tree boxes at the facade of the building, so all trees just sit to the facade, attached to the facade, and then at the top again is a greenery. So we try to make the building as much green as we can, and this is the final view of the project. And then